Y'all like that intro, huh? Y'all like that intro, huh? What is going on, guys? It is your boy, TKD1 Tier, back in your place in source. And with me, of course, my luxurious co-host, the Arachknight. How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You want to be honest or you want me to just give
Yeah,
you
it's all about honesty
you know
here.
what, you're right.
Totally
Okay.
transparent.
I'm gonna keep it honest. I am fatigued. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I mean, as of this recording, it is Thursday, June 11th. So we just saw one of PlayStation's greatest presentations they've ever done
Ever. Yeah.
for the PS5 reveal. It was insane. Oh my god. How did we not bring up Arachknight? We didn't even bring up Spider-Man, bro. Oh my god,
Oh
dude.
no,
This is
yeah.
Spider-Man. Bowser. Okay, you know what? That is not the show, the different show, okay? This is the road to Ghost of Tsushima, as you saw on the intro. Yes, we are doing it, boys. We are doing Road to Ghost of Tsushima as we lead up to release to Ghost of Tsushima. So I guess, I mean, we could start in a lot of different ways with this game. But so I guess I'll ask you, surface level, what are your thoughts behind Ghost of Tsushima?
Surface level, like the gameplay looks like fun. It looks like complex, but not like overly complex. Like a little more in depth than Sekiro was,
Right, right,
but like nothing overwhelming.
right, right.
Like if I can be honest, like initially when I saw Ghost, like I thought the visuals were stunning and all that. It's just like the gameplay didn't really grab me all that much.
Mm-hmm.
But like after seeing it more, like I am excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's been a while since a Sucker Punch game. Like I've never played a game of like this from them. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
everything,
yeah.
yeah, visually it all looks stunning. Oh my bad, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. You're all good. You're all good. You're all good. No, so definitely. Oh, I guess I should have like started off with saying that the episodes are gonna be broken down. Right now, I have 5 planned. The 5 that lead up to release. Which crazy thing that we have 5 weeks until Ghost of Tsushima. That's wild to me. But this episode, we are going over the development and marketing of Ghost of Tsushima. And then we have episode 2, the story and characters of Ghost of Tsushima. 3, Ghost versus Samurai, which we're going to go into the overall different gameplay styles of those two and maybe just overall combat as a whole. The open world of Ghost of Tsushima and the predictions and bets for the last episode. But going off here, of course, this is being developed by Sucker Punch Games. I know me and you are big fans of the Infamous series.
Yes.
Big fans. And before that, Sucker Punch did develop Sly Cooper back in the day. I have a very limited experience with Sly Cooper. I don't know if you have played any of the Sly Coopers.
I have.
Okay, so do you have a pretty substantial knowledge of those games?
It's slight. I only played them like once when I was younger.
Right,
Like
right.
I definitely don't have the same connection to Sly as I do Infamous. Like not even remotely.
Right, yeah. So I mean, hey, at least it's good that we brought up Sly Cooper. For those fans that have a great affiliation towards it. I played a Sly Cooper on Vita, but not fully through. I think it was a demo of one of them. I really forgot. I've been meaning to run through the whole Sly Cooper trilogy at some point. Maybe we will down the line on the channel.
Well, there's 4.
Sorry, 4. Excuse me, 4. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's the original trilogy, and then the 4th one is by someone else, right? I forgot what's the other developer that did the 4th Sly Cooper, because it's not Sucker Punch, right?
I don't believe so.
I forgot. Yeah, I know, and they're doing another. I honestly forgot. I don't know, but I know the developer for the 4th Sly Cooper wasn't Sucker Punch. But I guess we should probably start with, in the development side, Ghost of Tsushima is being developed by, of course, Sucker Punch Productions. After completing Infamous First Light, the team wanted to develop another open world project because they believed that the choices made by the player wait, let me restart that. The team wanted to develop another open world project because they believed that choices made by the player are important to gameplay. So that was a weird sentence, but I digress. You love Infamous. I love Infamous. And Infamous is really where, of course, my love for Sucker Punch began, as I was not a fan of Sly Cooper at the time, you know what I'm saying? And neither were you. So what does Infamous mean to you? And, what did it mean to you back in the day? Because I know we have talked a lot about Infamous. this is probably gonna be like a bigger segment than we intend. But what are your thoughts around Infamous?
Infamous to me, like I was very young. Like I played the first one when PSN got hacked back in 2011.
Mm.
And they said, "Hey, we're gonna give you a free game." I thought it was like any game, so I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna get like Street Fighter or something." And it's like, "Oh no, you only get to choose these games." It's like that's lame. That's not Street Fighter. And it's like whatever. What's this one? Infamous. Electric Power sounds cool. And then I fell in love with Infamous One, and it was right before Infamous Two released. So I played through Infamous One like 4 or 6 times, like doing everything, everything. And I was super into it. And then I got Infamous 2 like early because I ordered it on eBay and it was like a Korean copy or something.
Mm.
So I
Interesting.
got it so I got it like a few days early, I feel. Like at least to the extent of my memory. I could be remembering it incorrectly. But uh I played it through. It was a hassle because it was in Korean, so I had to figure out how to put it in English.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Were you able to change the language to English?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good, perfect.
But I bought DLC and it wouldn't work because I bought American DLC on a Korean copy.
Whoa, that's
So
crazy.
so I was like, "Hey, yeah, can I get like my money back?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh
and I was
man,
like, I called like Sony and I was like, "Hey, my DLC is not working. I just spent like $20." They're like, "Yeah, nothing we can do for you there. You're gonna have to rebuy the game if you wanted the DLC." I was like, "All right, I'm 11.
I am 11.
Yeah,
I am a minor, good sir.
I have no
Actually,
money."
really, really funny that you say that you got an Infamous game early because I also got an Infamous game early. We're gonna skip a few Infamous titles and go towards the latest full release, which is Infamous Second Son. Famously, I was at Toys R Us and I
You understand?
saw the game on the shelf, and I was like, "Hold up, I follow games. I'm aware that because I had recently bought, so I had gotten the PS4 that past November. So this had to have been like
2014.
February or March of 2014. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like 2 weeks before the game was out, right? And it was on the shelf at Toys R Us. I'm like, yo, that's not supposed to be out. So I was like, Kev, this is an opportunity. Like, seize the day, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went up to the old gentleman that was working his job, and it was like, hey, my man, can I get Infamous Second Son? He got his key, went to the glass door, unlocked it, and sold me a copy of Infamous Second Son.
Early. Wow.
Yep, early. He had no idea. I don't know if he didn't know or what,
Didn't care.
but I don't know. I don't know. Actually, no, it wasn't in the glass case. No, okay, so the one in the glass case was a display unit. But then he went to the back and got the box, and the box had the street date. Like it like had the release date on the box, and he just disregarded it completely and still sold it to me.
Damn.
Wild.
You love to
Wild.
see it.
Wild. But that was a great thing. I got the game ad early. It was tremendous. But the first time I ever saw Infamous was at a Walmart. It was on one of the PS3 demo
Oh
stands.
yeah.
Oh my god, it was so fun. I remember like being so like, yo, I love this. Like this is so fun, you know. So I was able to purchase Infamous, thanks to my lovely father. Shout out to him, and I love the game. I loved Infamous. I think it was just super fun. Empire City was great. The whole lore and story of Infamous, me you've talked about time and time again. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Sasha
great.
scared me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you remember Sasha and like the subway with like the long tongue and you had to like mash X and like talk
yeah,
to her. Yeah, my parents walked in when I was playing that part. It's like, "What are you playing?"
wild.
And it's like, I don't know what's going on and I'm scared.
Oh man, but Infamous is great, and then we go on to Infamous Two,
Top five games.
top five. But do you recall the uh
Festival of Blood.
not that? Oh wait, I skipped over Festival of Blood. Shout out Festival of Blood on Infamous One side DLC, a little
That was
side
two.
game.
It was two. Yeah,
Wait,
the amp. Yeah, Festival of Blood was in Numerai. Remember?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was one. You had the amp. You had all the powers from two.
Why am I misremembering that? I mean, I honestly want to value on this, but I mean, I believe you if you say it. Dude, I totally thought it was off of Infamous 1.
No,
Like,
Infamous One didn't have any DLC if I recall correctly.
oh, wait, okay, now I'm vaguely remembering
Yeah, you had
the
the
oh,
amp had a stake on
yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
No,
Precisely.
you're good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Not like I said, I played a lot of Festival of Blood.
Right. Yeah, it was Infamous 2. Damn, that's crazy. I thought it was Infamous 1. Well, I digress. Of course, Infamous 2. You know what I'm saying? But do you recall when they first announced the game at E3? Because I was watching this live, and they changed Cole McGrath's physical appearance.
Yeah, his hair.
Wilds, bro.
I didn't really care.
Really?
I was 11. It's like he's still cool.
No, I was very much like, yo, you can't do this.
Like, he looks a lot like Nathan Drake, but like I don't really care as long as he's still like cool and I can still get to make cool choices. And like my main priority is like, can I shock people with like a lightning strike? If
Right.
so, I'm down. If not, not interested.
Right. Of course,
So
of course.
that was my priority. I didn't really care about character design all that much.
Mm, mm.
Plus, with the DLC, you could just look like a Reaper anyway,
Good point.
which is
It's
what
a
I
very good
did
point.
for my evil playthrough. I just looked like a Reaper.
It's a very good point. You're right. You're right. Well, Infamous 2. I think, I mean, I don't think it's outlandish to say, and I'm pretty sure that everyone kind of agrees, you know what I'm saying, that like Infamous 2 was definitely the better game mechanically and like on the sticks feeling wise, you know, than Infamous 1.
I thought I'll stand by the fact that I think Infamous Two is the best game in the series.
Dude, I think I'm right there with you. I mean, I like Sega Son a lot, and I love Infamous 1. I have a very soft spot for Infamous 1. You know, like a
Right.
very, very soft spot. Like, there was just so much personality in that game, but Infamous 2 was really, really dope. I liked it a lot. And objectively speaking, if you probably look at all the games, Infamous 2 probably pound for pound, especially amongst Infamous 1 and Infamous 2 is probably the better game, of course. You know? But Infamous 2 went, a lot of good stuff. Then we go on to the PlayStation 4. Do you recall the reveal trailer for Infamous Second Son? I will never
Um,
forget this.
I did, and I was like, "Oh boy!" Like
Oh,
I was kind of underwhelmed.
I just liked that shot of like Delson getting the
Yeah,
helmet of one of the DUPs,
yeah.
people, whatever, and he's like, "You can't control me," or whatever, and it cuts, and he just slammed down the Infamous Second Son logo. I was so, bro, I was hyped for Second Son. I couldn't wait for it.
I
I was hyped.
honestly disliked Second Son.
I mean,
But
that's not an unpopular opinion for sure.
yeah, no, like I've only played Second Son the two times for Good and Evil,
Mm,
and never felt the need to go back. Like I don't even think I finished First Light. I got really bored.
I see. Oh, I like first. Actually, I have a funny story about First Light too, which we will probably get to. But Second Son, of course, you know, playing through it overall, I thought it was pretty okay. I thought it was pretty okay, pretty good. You know, it did a great job at showing off the power of the PS4, as in it's still one of the greatest looking PS4 games. I feel like overall, like I think it still looks and holds up really, really well, especially with like the particles of the different powers and stuff like that, for
Yeah,
sure. But overall, you're absolutely right. You know, Second Son is definitely not looked at as the best in the series, for sure. But you know, it is what it is. Shout out Troy
it is.
Baker, of course, as Delson.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so overall, it is what it is. You know, and then we got First Light though, which First Light I thought was really, really good. You know, which is interesting that you didn't like it.
I like the thing I didn't dig about Second Son and First Light is just how like like I didn't like the grunge.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't feel like it was I don't know, like well put together. Like it just felt like edgy for the sake of being edgy. Not
Interesting.
edgy, but like grungy. Like edgy has a different like connotation. Just like grungy.
Right.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters nearly as much, and I hated the Cole's Legacy DLC. Is like at that point, don't even just release it. Like just be done with it. Like say, oh, just do a bunch of fetch quests and Cole would be proud. Thanks, Deke.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have a lot of disagreements with them killing Cole. Spoiler alert, I guess, for
For a 9-year-old
Infamous.
game.
Yeah, yeah, for Second Son. I mean, Infamous 2.
Yeah.
I have, I don't agree with that decision, but
Should have
yeah,
been evil ending.
I thought what was more like repulsive is to have his jacket, which looked horrible on
It
Delson.
looked awful. Yeah, it was awful.
Awful. I don't know why it didn't look. It looked trash on Delson. It looked horrible on Delson.
It's because they kept the hoodie underneath, so it made him look like fat.
I think that is what happened. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Instead of looking like compressive and like sleek like it did on Cole, because he just wore a t-shirt.
yeah,
Delson had like a big hoodie, so it just looked very puffy and gross.
yeah. I didn't.
I put it on and then immediately took it off.
Oh, immediately, same,
Yeah.
immediately. Which I'm like, I don't know how you even get to that. Whatever, I digress. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still hurt by that. But First Light. So funny story about me. My first time playing First Light. I played it a little bit late. I played it actually let me think. Let's see. Was it? Oh, it was last New Year's.
Ooh.
Not this year, but last New Year's. So New Year's 2019. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I went to a music festival for New Year's as I usually do, and I unfortunately contracted both mono and strep at the exact same time.
You hate to hear it.
It was quite traumatic. So I did into the old backlog, played Guacamelee, and I played Infamous First Light. And First Light, it was a very, very good experience. I liked it, for what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like overall, like the world of like Infamous after Infamous 2 in terms of like the DUP and stuff like that, and like they were kind of delving into it like a little bit like X-Men, like in terms of how mutants interact with humans and like how they live in a human world even though they're mutants.
Conduit racism. Yeah.
Yeah, like essentially conduit racism. Yeah, like that's I like that aspect. You know what I'm saying? I thought they could have done more with it, but here we are, Ghost of Tsushima. And we'll have yet to see if like we would have rather had another Infamous game or this, but we guess we will have to see how it all pans out.
Like you go.
No. Go ahead.
What I'm gonna say is like I'm glad they're taking a step away from Infamous, because I don't like Sucker Punch is a good company. Like I may not have loved all of their games or like had a deep connection with some of their earlier games, but I don't want them to be known as the guys that made Infamous and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Infamous is great, but I don't know. Like there's not a whole lot of story left to tell.
Right.
Like without like dragging it on, like, which I felt like First Light kind of did. Like it's just like, people want another Infamous game, let's give them another game where there didn't need to be a game.
Well, I mean, like I still think that Infamous could live on, but I just think it has to be, now when I pitch this, you're gonna be like, okay, we already got that with Second Son, but like I think it has to be like a different part of the world, different scenery, different characters, different cool powers, you know what I'm saying? And like have it delve in something like that. Like I still think that like a Infamous game could be made in today's landscape, and we even did a Joyclicks Gamescast about it too, where like we just pitched ideas about Infamous in 2021 or whatever, but I definitely feel you in terms of like, after the end of Infamous 2, not really a lot you can go off of that could be interesting, to be fair. Yeah. Like if the ending played out a little bit differently and we had like Cole in Infamous 3,
Like evil ending.
Yeah. Even that.
Which was gonna be canon.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like cool, but oh well. It is what it is. But I do, even though as much as like we would love to see Infamous come back, you know what I'm saying? Like it is cool to whenever a studio gets a chance to do something really different,
Yeah.
Like I commend, because at that point, like, we would never get a Last of Us if Naughty Dog just kept doing Uncharted or kept
or like
doing
Crash.
Crash or Jack and Daxter. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like the power of a new IP could really be good. Like we would have never gotten Horizon if Guerrilla was still doing Killzone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here we are. Ghost of Tsushima could very well be our next big IP in PlayStation. You know, and it could be great. But after Infamous First Light, they still wanted to make an open world game, so they started work on Ghost of Tsushima. But they did say as a result, the game will not feature waypoints and players will have complete freedom to explore the game's world. According to Nate Fox, the game's director, the team distilled the game's numerous internal pitches into, quote, the fantasy of becoming a samurai during conceptualization. So, like, that's like kind of like what they wanted to have the overall, like, theme and point of Ghost of Tsushima, you know, was living out this fantasy or, you know, playing this fantasy of becoming a samurai. Which, I guess I'll ask you, are you a fan of are you a fan of Samurai? Arachknight?
Samurai Jack.
I've never heard. Wait, actually no, I have heard of it. I've never seen it.
Samurai Jack is very, very good.
I believe it's a show or is it anime?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a show on Cartoon Network in like the early 2000s.
Mm.
The fifth season came out in like 2017. I remember completely ignoring AP test coming up just to watch like the series finale because there was a long gap between like season 4 and 5. So I was like, yeah, no, like I want this. So I
Right.
completely ignored my AP test.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, but there aren't a lot of games that do the whole samurai thing like well, like Ninja or Samurai is like exceptionally well, at
Mm.
least to the extent of my memory.
Like,
So it'll be
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
oh sorry,
No, no, go ahead.
like what I was gonna say is like I didn't like Sekiro, like I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up actually. That like, you know, the most recent, I guess, other than
Yeah,
Neo. Sorry, not
Nero,
Neo.
yeah.
Neo, right?
Neo, like
Yeah.
Nioh, yeah.
Yeah. Neo, which I haven't played. Heard pretty good things about, but Sekiro, you know, of course, Game of the Year 2019.
Yeah, hard disagree.
Game of
Hard
the Year
disagree.
2019. Yeah, don't know if I agree with that, you know, but Game of the Year 2019. Um, I think I voted for Death Stranding, but honestly, looking back, I would have definitely done RE2.
Yeah, no, RE2 was mine.
Yeah, I wish I had played RE2 during 2019 because I definitely would have voted for RE2. But oh well, it is what it is. But a lot of people like Sekiro, you know, and I've seen gameplay of it, but once again, it falls into that category of you know, a Souls type game, which I'm not really fond of. But to each their own. And they further on here in terms of the development was to ensure that the title would be an accurate representation of feudal Japan. Sucker Punch consulted cultural experts and sent an audio team to Japan to record different sounds, including bird songs. Players will be able to switch to Japanese dialogue with English subtitles. How do you feel? So, do you like? Do you think it's a good thing that they are, you know, doubling down on the realistic aspects of Japanese culture within this game, or
Yeah,
because I've heard the counter where like some people, you know, and I don't necessarily agree with this point, but like I've heard people say that, you know, like they wanted to still retain its fun while still being realistic, and some people are fearful that like the realism in the game could make the game less fun to a degree. So like an example would be Red Dead 2, you know, where Red Dead 2 definitely had a lot of realistic features in it and different mechanics that were, you know, in realism in the world, but some of those activities weren't that fun. So I guess I'll
yeah.
ask you, which side of the fence are you on?
Like I'm tired of like trailing missions and like fetch quests. Like every game does it. I'm kind of sick of it.
Right.
Like depending like but it also like it can't be like a Metal Gear Revengeance. Like there's a time and place for those kinds of games and this isn't it. But
Mm.
like I don't know, like a good balance is important, like atmospheric to like and honest to history, like accurate to history,
Right.
would be interesting to see, but with just some like dramatic elements in the story and in the gameplay. But it, like it's all about balance. Like you can make things like work well without sacrificing aesthetic or design and creativity and like fun.
Yeah.
Because like honestly, like if I hear it's just mostly like fetch quests and trailer missions, I might pass.
Mm. You might
Like
pass.
as much as it looks interesting to me, like I'm not a huge fan of stuff like that. Like I didn't enjoy Death Stranding for that reason in particular, that
Right.
it's just all fetch quest. That's literally what the game is sold about. Is like you are a mailman. You're an Amazon driver in winter. Like for Christmas is coming and you're an Amazon driver. That's your game.
You're not wrong. You're
So
not necessarily wrong.
so yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
play Doom.
I think if you boil down Arachknight like to its core, to his soul, I just depict a cup of water and him playing Doom.
Yes. Uh I like fast paced games.
Right. Yeah, and
Uh
right.
yeah, I like stealth games, I like fast paced games, I like games with choices.
Mm,
Most of those boil down to shooters, and everything that I could ever love in a game you can find in Doom, because it's fast paced, a shooter, and you don't necessarily have to make choices, but like, hey, which one am I gonna kill first kind of deal.
right, right.
Yeah. Like um it's like especially the older Doom games, like there was a strategy. It's like, okay, there are secrets here, here, and here. Like, can I sacrifice? Like can I risk going here to get that kind of deal?
Yeah.
But um, but I also enjoy like stealth games. Like Dishonored is one of my favorite games. Like the Dishonored series is very good, except for Death of the Outsider.
Mm.
Um, like I love the Deus Ex games. Never a huge fan of Hitman, but I appreciate different kinds of games, and like I want to enjoy something a little slower. It's just like what I was saying is like if it's just, oh, this is just realistic, like, oh, you're just a samurai and this is just centered on realism and it's just a bunch of walking or riding a horse from point A to point B for 20 minutes, like that's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point because, like, I mean, in this open world, like, we really haven't seen any of the side missions per se.
Yeah,
And like, who know? I mean, like, yeah, that's honestly like a really good point in terms of like it could end up being those fetch quests that we don't love in gaming, but who knows what it's gonna be. I hope it's like, well, we have seen like, oh, you'll have to take down different bases and stuff like that.
yeah,
But I hope there's some like where it's like, hey, like there's a high value target, you know,
like a
might
Shadow
get.
Mordor kind of deal. Like I would dig that.
Yeah. I
Like
see.
the combat looks, oh, good. Like it looks okay.
Uh huh.
um like nothing spectacular so far, but like we've only seen snippets. Like it's all been cinematic shots with like not too much of gameplay.
Right. Yeah. True.
So,
True. True.
but I will commend like the obvious. Like I will state the obvious that the graphics and the atmosphere and the music and everything surrounding those fields is spectacular.
Yeah.
Like,
That and
yeah, you
like
go.
I really like their they're wanting to really double down on the culture that this game
Yeah,
is surrounded upon in terms of like them allowing you to play the whole game in Japanese dialogue with English subtitles. Like that's cool, because I know, like, again, that won't be me, unfortunately, because like even when it comes to anime, the anime
you're a
that
dub.
I'm a dubbed. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh, you're
sorry.
good.
I'm a dub gentleman, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, I've really tried, and maybe it's just a matter of me just trying long enough and just committing to sub, that I would just transition, but I just can't right now, at least. I don't know, but I'm happy that that's an option, as well
Yeah.
as of course the game takes inspiration from Japanese cinema featuring samurai, notably Akira Kurosawa films such as Seven Samurai and Sanjuro. I said that wrong. Sanjuro, whatever. I suck at pronunciation, but there we are.
You get
Um,
used to it.
Definitely. But like what I love too is that like they're deriving a lot of Ghost of Tsushima from like a influential standpoint and like a inspiration standpoint from those old Japanese films, and for them to have that filter, that like gray film looking filter that we saw during the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play. I think that's a really nice touch too. Like I think that like goes because like they could have just added like in photo mode. You can make it look like a cinema, of course, but like
Yeah.
for them to have it running in game and you can play the entire game in that film mode and really double down on it. I think it's a really really cool way to play the game. I won't do it, but I think it's a really cool way if someone's gonna do that and like play it like a film. I think it could be really really neat. You know, I think it
Agreed.
looks dope. Yeah, I think that's a really cool way that they really like, you know, with them going to Japan, of course. You know what I'm saying? And like getting all these different sounds and all that good stuff. Like they're it seems like they're really paying attention to the era that this game takes place in and the country that it's deriving from for sure. But they not only went on with the visuals, but also the overall like combat and how the Jin, our character, plays, not plays, well holds his swords. He
Yeah.
says here,
His stance.
yeah, the stances. The team consulted historical sword fighting expert David. Oh God, come on, Kev. Ishimaru. Oh my God, this sounds so bad. To help create a historically based foundation for the game. And then in December 2015, Sony executive Scott Rode revealed that Sucker Punch's new project was in early development, but he added that the game was fun to play. So I also appreciate the way that they are, of course, bringing in experts for sword fighting and such, and it's gonna add a lot more, I think, like realism to the mocap of the game
Right.
in a lot of different facets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I enjoy all of that stuff. I enjoy it. But moving on, of course, let's talk a little bit more also about the old marketing of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you're playing this on PlayStation 4 or playing it on PlayStation 5 later on this year, the game was marketed all the way back in October 2017 when when the reveal trailer was shown at Paris Games Week press conference. So I remember watching this. Wait, where was I where was I? Man, I had just moved to Tempe, and I think I was watching it in school. I'm pretty sure I was watching in school because I remember being in the dining hall watching this press conference at Paris Games Week. We just got like a small little trailer about it. Um, do you recall the first time seeing this game?
I do. I just wrote it off, honestly.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
I saw Sucker Punch was making it. It was like, oh, like when I first saw it, like Sekiro was also floating around.
right.
So it's like, wow, I can choose samurai game or samurai game. Like riveting.
But one seems to be better, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably not.
no.
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah. Like I was like, all right, whatever. Like I dig it. Like I dig samurai, so it's like I'll try it out.
Mm.
So played Sekiro, didn't like it, regretted my purchase, and Ghost is coming out. So let's hope we get a different outcome.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Ghost of Tsushima was the last major PlayStation announced game that we got other than today. To be honest, like the like latest new one, because 2018 E3 it was just the four games, which was Last of Us Part Two, I think Death Stranding, I think Days Gone, and I think Ghost of Tsushima. I think if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah. Spider Man has been floating around. Spider Man floated around from like 2016, I think.
Oh no,
2016.
Yeah, no. Spider-Man was at the 2018. Damn, what was the four games? It was Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and I think the fourth game was Death Stranding at E3 2018. But I digress. Definitely Ghost of Tsushima was definitely like the last game that was a big profile game.
Yeah,
That
I
was a
honestly
brand new
didn't hear
announcement.
about it. I didn't hear about it till late. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, during that time I was just like swamped with school and work. Like I completely fell off the radar with games. So I came back and it's like, wait, there's The Last of Us 2 coming out?
Oh, man.
Like I said, I'd spent all day 6 a.m. to midnight at school, then work, then the gym, then home, and then I would just do homework and go to bed. That was my life for a year because I was taking all AP classes. I was dying.
Hate to see it. Hate to see
Yeah,
it.
you
A
truly hate to
tragedy.
see it.
A tragedy.
If any of you are in high school, do dual credit for the love of God.
Oh, definitely do dual credit. AP's a scam, bro.
If he's a scam,
AP's
they're
a
not. They're in a
scam.
lawsuit right now. College Board.
They definitely should be.
Yeah,
Shoot, you serious right now? Yo, I,
yeah,
I, I was like, why would I intentionally take a harder class to maybe if I pass the class, right? Which no, I think you could pass the class but not get the credit. Didn't you
yeah.
have to get
No,
a C?
no, it's not pass the class. It's you have to take the exam and do better than a 3 or 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's whack. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you have to
that's
be in
whack.
the top like 20% or whatever test grades to get like a 3.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
that's trash. But
Yeah, 13, 13
but yeah,
classes.
I definitely remember this game when it first got announced. It was interesting because like Sucker Punch had been so quiet this whole generation up until this point. Of course we had
Yeah,
2014 Second Son, but 2017 they finally announced Ghost of Tsushima, and then we got the big blowout in 2018. It was interesting here is that they said that Sony opted not to announce the title too early since many of the game systems were tentative and subject to change. So the reason why because if you recall what we just read a few minutes ago, in December 2015, the Sony executive got hands on with the game and early development and said it was fun to play, but we wouldn't see it fully what he meant until nearly 2 years after that. So I would love to see a documentary about this game being developed, because I think that there's a story there for sure. I think maybe I don't know, probably not. We'll see. Who knows? But in 2018, we got the full rigmarole. Do you remember the live performance of the flute
yes,
looking
I
thing?
did.
Yeah,
Yes, I did. That was very talked about.
yeah. Wikipedia, I guess, calls it a. Oh God, Kev, come on, you got this,
It's gonna be a rough podcast because neither of us can pronounce anything.
dude. This is yo. I'm thinking about like when I talk about the game, like games, like when I actually get hands on, like bro, how am I gonna pronounce half of these shits, bro? I have no idea. All right,
Text to speech. We'll just edit it.
actually, a tip that I learned, right, was from one Colin Moriarty, and he says that, you know, words of this, specific language are pronounced with two syllables. So you go like sh, ak, u. That's not working. That's not working at all. Shakuachi, sakuachi. That's not how I'm gonna pronounce it. Sounds alright, but the sakuachi, the like flute type thing, during the E3 2018, and it was delivered by Cornelius Boots. I believe that's his name. I think. Yeah, that was an interesting way to start off, and it was overall like a very interesting E3. For 2018, it wasn't the best for sure, and it was their last E3 actually, but
Wasn't 2019 the last one?
mm-mm.
Oh,
2019 they.
Sony's. Oh, I thought you meant just like E3 in general. I was like, oh no,
Oh, sorry.
E3. Yeah, no, E3 has one more life in that little toaster.
What I mean, I don't think it has.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Shout out E3. Dang, Kev, you alright? Okay, here we go. But we got a beautiful hands-on, with the game's gameplay and everything. I thought from that point on, it looked very, very stunning. I was really impressed by the E3 2018. The first time we got to see gameplay, and like the game, like looked so good. I thought,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
That's where it got my attention.
Yeah, that, and then of course with I mean, like things that I'll never forget from that showing were definitely when Jin gets on his horse and starts galloping through the fields. The way the fields looked, it looked so real. Like it was wild. I mean, they still look real to this day when you look at gameplay from the game. Like it looked so impressive to me. I loved how that looked. For sure, for sure. I thought it looked great. But then we got first look at the combat, which is looking to be a bit of a slow, more methodical, not really hack and slashy type of vibe. And we primarily saw the samurai gameplay. We never really saw ghost gameplay per se during that gameplay, unless you want to count, I guess, going into the building and doing some of that sneaky stuff. I guess that would be considered ghost gameplay, but it was really, really good, really cool way to show it, really, really beautiful looking gameplay. Then we got another trailer that was teased in the state of play during December of 2019. The same state of play that we got Resident Evil 3. I'm sorry, yeah, Resident Evil 3 announced as well, if you recall that E3. I'm sorry, that state of play. Excuse me.
Yes.
Big fan. Yeah, they showed like a little tease and then said, "Hey, in 2 days, we'll show you the full thing at Game Awards 2019." In 2 days after that, so we got Game Awards, and that's where we got the full, shebang and full trailer from that. I'm trying to remember if anything was like told that we didn't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think anything that we didn't already know about the game was shown at that one specifically, but I'm not sure. But then we got in March of 2020, March 5th, 2020, we got the full-on story trailer, which I thought was a very well-done trailer. I liked it a lot. Big fan. That's where we got the announcement of physical and digital editions as well, which we will go over in just a little bit for the most part. But I thought that this was really well-done trailer. This is where we heard the first Ghost of Tsushima theme as well. I thought it was nice. And why not? You know what? I'm going to break down the special editions, if I may. Why not? Let's just, let's just do the thing, right? So, the Digital Deluxe Edition includes a digital copy of the game with the Hero of Tsushima skin set, in-game horse, saddle, mask, sword, and armor set for Jin. Those all go under the Hero of Tsushima skin set. 2 in-game items, which are the Charm of Hackman's Favor and 1 technique point, which now that makes a lot of sense now. Like, now okay, maybe that's for another podcast. It's fine. Samurai PS4 dynamic theme, digital mini Japanese historian. Wait, what? Digital mini art book by Dark Horse. There we go. And director's cut commentary with the creative team and a renowned Japanese historian who compares Ghost of Tsushima with real life events. That should be pretty interesting as well. The special edition is a physical version which includes a steelbook case plus a voucher for an in-game Hero of Tsushima mask and sword skin, Charm of Hackman's Favor, 1 technique point, the director's commentary, and the digital mini art book. The collector's edition includes everything of the digital deluxe edition and special edition, plus a replica of Jin's mask, which is made from poly resin. So they really made sure that this is not a wearable mask, even though it looks cool. It looks cool, but you cannot wear the mask, unfortunately. In these quarantine times, you cannot wear the mask. But what I think is the I mean, if you're trying to cop editions and we'll rock the masks, I'm down, bro. I'm down to risk it all. Poly resin can't keep me down. You serious?
Absolutely not.
We survived coronavirus. I think. I mean, it's not over.
We're getting there.
I mean, it's not necessarily over, but man, we're you
made it this far.
Yeah, we made it. Made it this far. But then you also get, I think the coolest thing in the editions is the Sashimono. Oh, Sashimono. That sounded kind of right. It's a war banner, nearly 4.5 feet long. And it has the like Ghost of Tsushima logo. If you can picture it, it's like a circle with like 2 upwards arrows in the middle of it. I love it. I think it's a really, really cool looking war banner and everything. But I don't have the edition pre-ordered, Slash, I probably won't get it, but I digress. You also get a traditional furoshiki, which is a wrapping cloth, a physical 48-page mini art book by Dark Horse, and an artistic full world map printed on cloth. That's cool. Get the entire world map on some cloth. That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot. But what this marketing breakdown doesn't really go over is, of course, the state of play, which we have talked about. Wait, actually, I don't remember us talking. Have we talked about the state of play for Ghost of Tsushima?
Not much, I don't believe.
Well, I guess I'll throw it to you. I've talked too much. How do you feel about the state of play? You know, if you recall the big major points of it.
It's like I was never blown away,
Mm.
but it's like it's harder for me to feel blown away or like really really hyped about something. It takes something really special to get me to do that, and unfortunately Ghost never did that for me.
Right, right, right,
Like
right.
I thought it looked like I mentioned before, atmospheric, gorgeous, like visually stunning, and with its design and everything. It's just like I don't know what's going on, like with it all going on. Like I don't feel like we've gotten many story beats.
Oh, I mean, we've gotten a few story beats, and
Yeah.
even though that's a future episode of Ghost of Road to Ghost of Tsushima, I'll just lay it out really, really, really briefly. So essentially, what's going on? We're in feudal Japan. The Mongols are taking over the island of Tsushima, right? So they do the thing, and us fighting as samurai, we are trying to be honorable as samurai, whatever, But the Mongols are using crazy ass tactics, essentially, and
Right.
they're just wilding, right? So my homie Jin is like, you know what? Forget this samurai stuff. You know what I'm saying? If they want to throw dirt in our faces, I'm gonna throw dust in their faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, so he starts to adapt ways of the ghost, which is how he gets his name, Ghost of Tsushima. And he uses tactics against the Mongols that are similar to like a ninja in terms of being stealthy and stuff like that, and like just cheesing these homies. But that is looked at as dishonorable in the samurai way. So that's pretty much the plot.
Hmm.
It's he's trying to exact revenge and push out the Mongols and fight the Mongols
Right.
because they invaded Tsushima.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess like a little bit of a revenge quest, and there's also gonna be like a lot of like really cool stuff, which again we can go deeper on in a future episode, of course. But there's a lot of things where like the friends that are with you, and the people that are in your life, the more ghost you play as, and the more like dishonorable you be, they'll act a certain way towards you and be like upset at you for a certain degree, and like that might have some narrative implications as well. So
So if you go stealthy, you're dishonorable, and they don't like you anymore.
yeah, but like they were describing it like very much like it's not like they were making it clear that like it's not like the karma system, like it's not like there's like good and bad, it's
Right.
just you're it's just you simply like adopting a new set of skills, right? So you can be a samurai and also a ninja, if you will.
Hmm.
And they want to make it very clear, for reasons that they have on their own, of course, them being Sucker Punch, that like it's not that like if you play Ghost mainly, you're gonna be like a negative in the world. It's just simply like your people in your life will like disagree with your tactics.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, like stuff like that. Like I know Deus Ex: Human Revolution did something like that,
Mm.
like where it's like, oh, this is an action game, but you get way less XP, and you're looked down upon for fighting like a third-person shooter. So it's like kind of like, hey, if you want the good ending, you gotta do stealthy. So I don't know, like that seems very limiting. Like a
Right.
Human Revolution, and I fell in the same area because I prefer stealth, but I don't know. It seems I can't judge it until I get my hands on it or I see it directly. However, from the extent of my understanding on what you talked about, it seems very limiting on a gameplay aspect. Like, oh yeah, you can be stealthy, but then people are gonna judge you. So it's
Mm.
like artificial, like, oh, you should feel bad.
Yeah, like it has been admittedly like what you are saying here. Honestly, like it is a little bit confusing, but like what they mean, like what are the ramifications of like you being more ghost, and like they were wanting to make clear that like it's not that like if you lean towards the ghost side of the like skill tree and the ghost way of combat that you lose your samurai abilities. Like you always like it's like always additive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you
Right.
like how if you're bad in Infamous, you don't have access to the good powers.
Yeah.
Not good as in skill level, but like the hero powers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the ice powers.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So I guess we'll see how it goes. You know what I'm saying from that aspect. But I'm gonna have to agree with you. It is a little bit odd the way they've been kind of wording this and framing it. You know, and I hope we
Yeah.
get a little more clarification. But to me, okay. So this is actually the first time I'll be talking about the state of play since it first happened, right? And like
Right.
definitely when it first went down, I was super high on the game, right? Like I thought it was really really cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm very very hyped, and like I'm still of course gonna play it. I'm still excited for it, of course. But my hype is t- not tampered off, but found an equal
Lessened.
yeah found an
E-
equilibrium.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're like, all right,
Temp- tempered, is that the word you're looking for?
tempered, precisely tempered. Yes, my hype has been a bit tempered. You know, not necessarily negative, but just like all right, you know, because as a whole, you know, like when you look back on it, it really does kind of look a little bit like if PlayStation made an Assassin's Creed game, which I'm not against. I like Assassin's Creed games. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm a fan. Como se dice a fan? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Uh, so you know we'll see how it goes. But like I think what's I just want to know like what is gonna be this game's like right home moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm very curious to see.
Like every game has like a moment where it's like, oh yeah, this is what stuck out. This is what I loved about like this moment that I loved in this game.
Right.
Like Spider-Man PS4's was the Sinister Six, which they kind of spoiled, and the statue in the collector's edition, like literally
Wild.
they're all right there.
Literally wild.
Um, like Uncharted 4 was the motorcycle chase, but it's like Ghost is like what is gonna make me want to play this game?
Right.
Like
Right.
because this is a samurai game every 10 years,
Right.
like even more so lately. It's like what makes Ghost of Tsushima notable and differentiates it from everything else? Like, why should I play this?
I think there's going to be two reasons. One we've seen, and maybe one that we haven't seen. But the first one we've seen, I think that this game is going to be really going to be commended in terms of how well it portrays feudal Japan. You know,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be looked at like, as a very very good like almost educational piece. Like even though not a lot of the timelines like line up in terms of like what he has to fight with and stuff like that. Like there's like definitely some things that just had to be just decided just because it's a game at the end of the day. But I think its dedication to like the era and the type of game is going to be and all that good stuff. Like I think that's where the game is going to be highlighted in a lot of ways. But also what I'm hoping for that ends up being like one of its big, you know, things right home about is the game's like seemingly like very drama filled story. I think we're gonna get a lot of drama in this story, you know, like in terms of like, you know, you having these interpersonal conflicts with your family and your friends and stuff like that, and how you are going about it, and you having this inner battle in terms of like, do you want to stay honorable or do you want to just fight for Tsushima and fight for your people and do whatever that entails, you
yeah,
know?
like whatever the cost.
yeah, like there's even some like cutscenes and trailers that we've seen in terms of like, you know, it looks like I was taught by my grandpa, I think, or something like that, or like maybe like my dad, you know, and like he sculpted me to be this glory filled samurai, and I'm going back on those things, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm doing what has to be done for Tsushima. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think this game definitely has potential to have like a really cool drama aspect to the game that I don't know if a lot of people are talking about, but I wanted to just at least bring up that for sure.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that. Like, you're definitely right.
Yeah, like I'm
I
yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, no. No, I'm you go. You go.
And I feel like Sucker Punch like hasn't really done drama before. I wouldn't call any of the infamous games dramatic in like a personal way. I guess like low key with Second Son. I guess
Well,
sometimes.
Infamous Two's endings, like the last act of Infamous 2 always hits hard.
Yeah, that's a that's a that's a that's a good point.
Like the I don't know, the Infamous games like Infamous 1, Zeke betrays Cole and makes a decision that could kill thousands of people due to his own selfishness. Trish dies no matter what your choice is, and Cole is left alone at the end of Infamous 1, even if you're a hero.
Right.
Which is a little which is dramatic. Infamous 2 is, do you kill your best friend or do you die? One of you is going to die. Which one is it? Like, and when you kill Zeke in the evil ending, that one hits especially hard.
It's a very good point. It's a
Like,
very
they've done drama, but there's like nothing like this.
right, right, right. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. But I guess that kind of wraps up the marketing,
Yeah.
and overall development. You know what I'm saying? I'm again we are closing in on the time where this game goes gold. It's not gold yet, but definitely we'll probably announce it here on the future episodes of Ghost of Tsushima. And yeah, I mean overall, you know, it seems like this development, you know, seems to be a pretty standard development. You know, in terms of games and everything. I don't think there was really any drama per se with this development cycle,
No.
uh, and such. You know, definitely. This game also is a very unique factor in terms of it has the either you know benefit or drawback of being PlayStation 4's last big exclusive, and will
Right.
kind of end off the PS4 era, you know, with a look at a brand new IP, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm also interested to see like if this game has the potential to become a series, and like how do you even do that with a game like this, you know? That's the
It might.
yeah.
Yeah. Not every game needs a sequel.
Right. Which I'm not saying like it should or shouldn't. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
curious like if they're thinking about making this a franchise. You know,
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, with something, it depends on how popular it'll be.
good point.
Like,
Good point.
yeah, popular. Like, Fallen Order was a game that I didn't think needed a sequel, but that game sold incredibly well, and they're already working on one.
Definitely didn't need it, but man, it felt good to get like a crew at the end of that game. You know, it's like
Yeah,
like we're kind of a family, and we're gonna be out
yeah.
doing fighting the empire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Like, some games don't need a sequel. Some movie like stories, like a good story doesn't need to be validated by an expansion.
Right,
Like,
right.
like, each story can be an isolated, like a good story can be an isolated event and still tell something impactful and something memorable.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, I'm excited for this game. I can't wait for it. It's been really like sharing a lot of mind share with me. Of course, we both love Sucker Punch, so I can't wait to see what they do with Ghost of Tsushima. But I guess we'll call this the pilot episode to
Yeah.
Road to Ghost of Tsushima. I guess we'll call it here.
Mhm.
Arachknight, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Orly_Macias. It'll be in the description below. I talk about video games, movies, and comic books and everything of that similar like. I like talking with like fans of the show, fans of the live streams, like or just fans of video games and like comic books and stuff like that. Like I love talking to people about this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me and others on the PlayStation Source Discord. It is an active Discord. I'm there every day along with others. We talk about anything and almost everything you could think of. We all love hearing like our passions and what we love and stuff like that, and teaching everybody else like, oh, maybe you'd be into this or maybe you'd be into that. Just talking about it. It's a good place if you just want to like talk about video games and stuff like that.
Precisely, precisely. All those links will be down below in the description. Of course, most importantly, Arachknight's links, as well as our Discord down below. If you want to follow that, link in the description, as well as our Twitter at PSSourceVids. You can follow us on there. Get all the latest and greatest and tweets from PlayStation Source. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
you're good,
like,
man.
I'm
It's
like,
been a long day.
oh man, I don't even know. What's my name? Okay. No, forget that. Of course, like the episode as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation and all things Ghost of Tsushima, because we will be back, of course, with future episodes leading up until release, of course. And Ghost of Tsushima, I'm still weighing it out. I think we're gonna do a stream series on it when it comes out. I think we're gonna play through the game. I'm a little bit hesitant because I know it's an open world game. We'll probably do side stuff by myself and then story stuff while I'm streaming, I believe is how we're gonna do it. But we'll see when we get more info and more hands on. But I do intend to do a stream series on Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, again, thank you all for vibing out with us, Kevin, for real. Wow, listening to Road to Ghost of Tsushima. Much love, and thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for watching. Arachknight, pleasure hosting with you, and as always, greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits.
See you guys later.
Have a good night.